I said what last year? No, I couldn't have said that. It's a problem with bold predictions. If you put them out there, you can compare. We're gonna talk about what I thought was gonna happen in 2018 versus what it did, and we'll make some bold predictions for 2019 on this episode of House Rules, Real Estate in Sin City. So a lot of you watched our Facebook Live episode of December of 2017, and I did a bold predictions for 2018. Took a couple questions and made predictions on that, so wanted to talk about those bold predictions, see how close I was, and then actually give bold predictions for 2019. So I got my notes here, and we're gonna go through some of the bold predictions I made, laugh at some of them, see how close I got on others, and then again, let's make some bold predictions. So the first one I talked about was the number of total units sold in the Las Vegas MLS. So that includes single family homes, condos, and townhomes. There were about 42,000 that were sold in 2017, so I actually predicted 49,000 total units in 2018. Boy, was I wrong. There were 42,094 sold. So not only did I get that wrong, I got it way wrong. We basically didn't have anything that was different from 2017 to 2018. And honestly, for 2019, wouldn't really call this a bold prediction, but I'm only saying there's only gonna be about 43,000 total units sold. We're kind of seeing a plateau on just the number of units we're selling here. Other one I was way off on, our median days on market. We've seen that number actually slowly climb up as you talked about it in our market updates, but in 2018, I expected to only have an 18-day median days on market for the total market. We actually hit 27 days at the end of the year. So I was off by 9 days or 50%. That's a pretty big number to be off on. I see the kind of the trend continuing, and so I'm calling a 31 days on market median by the end of 2019. Dollar volume, I was actually pretty close. So there was about $12 billion in the MLS sold in 2017, which is a lot. I predicted $13.25 billion for 2018. I was really close. It actually ended up being $12.925 billion. So I was off by, less than 300 million, which sounds like a lot of money, but really when you're talking about 13 billion, I think I'll pat myself on the back on that one. So my bold prediction, again, not gonna be that bold. I'm gonna give that same exact number, $13.25 billion for 2019. Put it on the books. Here's some numbers that I'm happily wrong with, right? So my bold prediction for the median price of all units, including townhomes, condos, and single family, was $270,000. That was a bold prediction. It actually hit $274,000, so that was pretty good. That was, again, up over 10%. I think our trend is going to continue. We're going to go up higher. I don't think it's going to be as high as it was in 2018, so I'm calling for a $283,000 median price for all the units that are on the market. Now, when it comes to the single family homes only, I guessed it was going to end the year at $287,000, which was up from $264,000. Pretty bold, right? Wasn't bold enough. $295,500 was the end price in December. And I'm gonna call for, again, about a 3 to 4% increase. I'm gonna say $306,500 for 2019. You heard it here. Other ones, so that was the stats, right? So we talked about some trends and we talked about some lending stuff. I did predict, this was last year when mortgage rates were about 4.25 to 4 3/8. I predicted we were gonna hit 5%, but settle the year below that. That's what we did. We did hit 5%. We had that run up where we actually were over 5% for a little bit, but finished the year right around that 5% number, a little bit lower, a little bit higher, depending on your credit worthiness and all that stuff. So I'd say I hit that one pretty well. My prediction for this year, we're gonna get closer to 6 than we are to 5. So maybe 5.5, 5 3/4 or whatever. We're actually a little bit lower now, but I still see us as summer months hit, I do see us increasing again. So I hit that bold. I think we're gonna get closer to 6. I'm not saying we're gonna end the year at 6, but 5.5, 5 3/4 is where I'm gonna call it for next year. Stock market. I said that the Dow Jones Industrial Average was gonna hit 28,000 at one point, but settle well below that. This was when the market was in the 22s or whatever. I really got close on this one. I was surprised. The Dow actually hit a high of about 26,800 this year, so it was off by 1,200. And it ended though 23,000. So it actually ended lower for the year, or right around even. But when it came down and came to it, it did go up like I thought, and it did end the year on a negative note. So I'm going to say we're right around 23,000 to start the year. I'm going to say we're going to finish the year a little bit positive, 3-4%. I'm going to say where the Dow Jones is going to be at 24,000 in 2019. Some of the fun stuff I talked about, Zillow did not take our jobs. Still haven't taken them, which is good, but they are coming. They're changing their game, as we all know. You can now sell your house directly to Zillow. So that did happen in 2018, which was a total bold prediction. Other things. Somebody asked about stated income loans, and I went on record and said there's no way we're ever going to see a stated income loan this year. I was wrong. Some of the lenders are actually putting stated income loans back together. Now, they're not nearly as much of a free-for-all, if you will, as they were before in 2007 and before, but we did see some lenders, none of our preferred lenders, but some of those lenders are actually offering stated income loans again. Going to be really interesting to see what happens in 2019. Again, we're not in a bubble. We weren't in the bubble last year. I said on record that it was going to be a great year for the market. We saw 10% gains, or right around 10% gains. Said it was going to be a great place to live, invest, and buy. So I still feel that's the case, right? I talk about abnormal market. We had an abnormal market from 2018 up to 2014 up to 2018. We did. We're in a normal market, right? There's going to be homes that are going to be sold. 90% of the homes are still selling within 90 days. The median's about 30 days. So that's what we're going to see. We're going to see 3-4% increase, that kind of stuff. That's I wouldn't really call it a bold prediction, but that's my prediction for the year. Somebody asked me about Bitcoin. I wasn't ready to talk about it last year. Still not ready to talk about it this year, but I know a lot of people got killed on it, I guess. Who knows, right? I still don't get it. Some of my sports predictions. So obviously as a Dodger fan, I said that when the Dodgers lost in the World Series in 2017, I felt that was the year, that was the chance they had. They made it to the World Series again in 2018, but it didn't happen. We'll see what happens. So for my Dodger prediction, I still think we're making the playoffs. And once that team gets in the playoffs, you never know what's going to happen. I said that the Raiders Stadium was going to have a hiccup and be delayed to start with the construction, so they weren't going to be able to start their season in 2020. Now we're still only halfway through the construction period, but construction is actually ahead of schedule, not behind schedule. So who knows? That prediction, I'd say I was probably wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because it'd be great to have the stadium open on time and under budget. That's not going to happen. And then the other sports bold prediction I made was about our Vegas Golden Knights. I said, look, we're on a historic pace. This has never happened before. We're going to make the playoffs. We're going to win the first round of the playoffs, but that's it. Boy, was I wrong, and how wrong was I, and that was so great. Watching them make it all the way to the Stanley Cup, winning that first game in the Stanley Cup, it was great for the city. I mean, we're still doing great. The season started off a little bit slower this year, but they've gone on a 7-game win streak or something like that as of now. So my prediction, we're not going to make the Cup this year. We're not going to make the Stanley Cup Finals this year, but we're going to go back to the second, maybe third round this year. That's my bold prediction. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. I'd love to add those to bold predictions for next year, or do another one of these as an add-on. So there's our bold predictions. I think the market's going to be 3-4%. I still think we're positive. I think the number of sales is going to kind of plateau, but that price is going to come up. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of us. Thanks for watching. House Rules, Real Estate in Sin City.